A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna start at the beginning, with the house. Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it. My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up. I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know, or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back. The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do. No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. I asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me even then. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I heard something moving around in the garage. I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. Or how after Louis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Mom must have locked the third-floor stairs on the night we left. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
喂喂，有了，莉莉安爱玩，抱歉，我刚才有开麦啦，讲半天 ，Oh my god。 说这游戏氛围还是有点强的，有点害怕，主要是有点可怕的。我真讲半天，我没有骗你们，真讲半天，因为有点紧张，有点害怕，所以才讲半天。
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
可是我现在有点搞不懂这个 EDIE 到底是他的曾祖母还是什么？
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
啊，这个钥匙原来是这本书的，不是这个门的。
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
哇，他在书里面藏门把。
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
他妈妈一直在怕什么东西，所以现在应该是要窥探他妈妈的秘密了，是吗？
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Milton 就是一直失踪的嘛。我们来的时候一直看到那个失踪的海报，就是 Milton。
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
人觉得我已经有计划了。这可能玩不太久，因为真的有点晕。但是我并不知道门后会怎么，可能要下喽，各位小心。不是，我想往上拉，怎么往上拉？衣柜。
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
他们家这个装潢真的是很诡异。
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
在我妈妈把门封起来之前，她说那个她的兄弟失踪之后，她妈妈就把所有的房间都封起来了。Molly Finch， 现在的日记本我很快就不在了，但我想告诉别人会发生什么事情。事情的开始是我妈妈让我没吃晚餐就上床睡觉。对啊，他就念Edith，旁边那个虫是怎样？
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
怎么突然关灯啊？谁关灯啊？这有够恶意的啊
！The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
我变成小朋友了啊！你就这么吃啊？旁边那个看起来像便便。
My Halloween candy was all gone.
他的饼干吃完，有鱼。我想过啥？
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
他想过吃它，但我忍住了。这家人真怪怪的，害怕了，有点害怕了。Molly， 哦，好暗！我靠嘞，怎么变这样？刚刚有那么暗吗？各位？怎么会变那样？
Mom, can I
我
come
的手，
out now?
我的手那个
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
睡一下吧，就手上有那个很像红斑点。估计我生病了，我应该说这个人生病了，猫里生病了，小心哦，镜子，小心各位镜子。
I kept eating and eating.
我要吃牙膏了，我好大一口啊！这视角好晕。那天晚上我
I
吃
ate a
了
lot， of things that night.
这个是可以吃吗？怎样是真的还假的？这个是假的吧？啊！哇，你这吃的当中那个胡萝卜已经算是最正常的了，虽然放在边边旁边，不知道怎么了，就看起来这个人生病了，然后开始乱吃东西。这个看起来很像假的，刚刚看起来有点光泽。吃了一大口牙
Then
膏
I heard chirping outside my window.
听到了鸟叫声。
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
正要回巢的家燕，
I reached out for her.
我伸手去抓它。他们家的这个窗
And suddenly,
有锁链。哦，
I was a cat.
我是一只猫。我。
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
我感觉我要摔下去了，各位。怎么跳？哦，
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
哦，所以爸爸妈妈在这里。爸爸妈妈好像没有眼珠子，有点可怕。鸟儿，别跑啊！
I
鸟
jumped and
儿。
I almost got her.
等一下，我突然有点害怕，我会不会追上它？它是要把它吃掉？不会吧？我这个视角真晕，我没骗你们。
I could tell she was getting really tired.
他去哪？救命哦！他去哪了？晕死了。
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore.
他答应爸爸不再
All I
爬树。
cared about was eating that mama bird.
怎么你真吃啊？你真吃
I
这个？
gobbled her up,
喂！
and suddenly I was an owl.
啊！
First, all I heard was the wind.
我变猫
Then
头
I
鹰。
heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
我变成猫，又变成猫头鹰，会不会他一切都是幻想，根本也没变猫头鹰？我要干嘛？现在可以干嘛？
Rabbits.
兔子，兔子原地跑步，有看到哦。喂，是兔兔。
I imagined his face looking up and
哎
seeing
呦，
mine
哎
through my
呦
talons.，
真
I
吃兔
swallowed
兔
him up,
了，
and I didn't chew one bit.
一口都没
Then
嚼。
I flew off to find something bigger.
吃什么变什么。那我等一下要变兔子吗？我要找下一个猎物。
A mama rabbit.
一个兔妈妈，不知道为什么他一直强调妈妈，刚刚也强调鸟妈妈，对不对？怎么可以吃兔兔？
She was almost too big to carry. I
哎
started
呦，
choking,
直接
but I couldn't
从
stop
头给
eating.
他那样子，我噎住了，但我还在吃。
And suddenly, I was a shark.
然后我变鲨鱼了，树鲨。哎，这是怎么样？我长得有点富哦。
I rolled off a
喂！
cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
我现在比任何时候都饿，但是我手臂会这么饿啊？ 有海豹，有海豹。
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
C， 哎，在哪里？吃到没？吃到没？
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
哎，他用非常童真的话，然后去讲出这一段，非常童真的这个语气呀、
I grabbed on tight, but I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
我是什么？这是什么？我是什么？好长。哦，啊，原来我要按前进啊！真是的，我想说。我是一个什么怪
Now I
声？
was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
又是鸟。这也
I
不
was
像死
big,
欸，说实
but
话
I。moved real quiet.
我该不会要吃人了吧？我操！哦，好炸裂啊！这个。我。
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
不想，他没办法控制自己吗？是说这个意思？所以他这个病他没办法控制自己。特别想知道这到底是什么。
Last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
让它游了过去。哎，我还是这个哎。
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. 我有真晕，是真晕。马桶。不是，别忘了，别忘了，好不受控啊我。 I got closer and closer.
哎，回到房间了。还是要吃掉他的宠物吗？我感觉是，所以沙鼠不在了。吗？好像还是吃掉那只鱼。
all my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Huh?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
啊！所以他把自己吃，应该不是把自己吃了吧？他这个是暗喻，是暗喻什么样的死法？怎么这游戏这啊？怎么回事？我本来以为他是就是摔下去死掉，但是他现在真看起来不太像是摔下去死掉，更像是他被吃了。
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
啊！好乱，好乱哦！他现在要把流浪猫叫 Molly，Molly 就是刚刚那个人啊。这是他爸妈的房间是吧？
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
所以 ED 是曾祖母嘛 ？Edith。
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Her room was like a museum.
他们这
For
个
500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
Odin Finch 埋葬了因家族诅咒而死的最新受害人的妻子和刚出生的儿子。
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
我腿不是，那退的太多了啦。那是这一退就是直接关了。鸟。还有药啊，吃药。
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
所以外面那个龙，它就应该就在建造就外面那个湖里面的。
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Eh, 没看到什么地方可以互动。
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
啊！突然找到在哪里。我漏看了什么吗？哦，在这儿，马桶上。There's a secret in this bathroom. 有秘密在这个厕所，藏在厕所。
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Oh.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Sven. 在做洗相片。感觉等一下洗相片就会出现红房了。
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him.
Sam 有个兄弟，对啊，我不知道我有没有错过什么东西。这又是新的地方哎。先后退。这边应该是看完的吧？下面应该就只有这个。就这种房子就是我说这样的设计啊，就是看到会觉得很有趣，但实际上用起来感觉会很麻烦。
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Yeah.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
要停下来吗？不行哎，他不让你停哎。不行，你只能飞了。这个真晕，太沉浸式
I told him
了。
going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
小心。
I think he'd already made up his mind.
"对啊，我还要在这边摆吗？真的是这样摆吗？还是我停下来？我停下。
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
真的可以当那么高吗？喂！对啊，我也是这么想，但是怎么好像飞不出去啊？哎！我靠嘞！这已经不是飞不飞出去了吧？
The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
那我刚刚是不是有没找到啊？没关系，先这样吧。啊，这也是一个太工伤的感觉。
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
对，我觉得刚刚厕所那边
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and
在
never
哪里？
set
在
foot
哪里？
in
在
the
哪里？
room
字幕在
again.
哪里？对啊，刚刚那个超不科学的，因为看起来等我转到第二圈的时候，我早就被树枝打得稀巴烂的吧？
The
就算这样转
passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
哎呦，
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
是芭芭拉的房间。因为我有稍微看过一
Of all
点，
the
我觉得芭
stories
芭拉
people
这
wrote
边蛮
about
可
Barbara's
怕的，
death,
大家自己小
I'm
心一
surprised
点。
Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career
出名的
needed.
只有尖叫，感觉蛮痛苦的。
Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding
我们刚刚转过啊。
until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
完啦！
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
要走下去啦！
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
你的手印啊！
The gang gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
鬼话连天。就是要把这个。
The old fridge rattled and grew
冰
still.
箱吃人了。好呢，大家注意。
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared.
会把他另外一只脚也打残呐。
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show.
我先提醒不要躲冰箱，不要打不开。
Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
哎，怎么还有啊？搞什么鬼啊？前面还有一个骷髅头，你没有看到吗？哎，冲他回，冲他回！很紧张了，很紧张了。左 Q 右 E， 我都哭了。
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And whoever he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
干嘛啊？这边的剧情。 见了， 完了。
had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
我实在是不敢转头。
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life.
Huh?
I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
我感觉也不用用什么啊，感觉很难用合理的解释。就这有什么合理的解释啊？他的粉丝吃人，就是前面虽然说他们说是 surprise 这样子，但下一秒他还是被吃了，没事。
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
哎呀，故事跟这个结合，感觉更可怕了。还好是打开没有他的耳朵。我们家还有撞球桌。
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
可是你们不觉得很奇怪吗？就是还是说他们可能也知道自己家族受了诅咒，所以这个Edith他不止帮他们缝那个就是出生死亡日期，还都会有一个这个木头的肖像画这样子。就肯定是我觉得我看起来有点可怕，肯定是遭受了诅咒，但是却好像很有准备的那种感觉。
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Edie溜进了地下室。
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
小心哦，这个是冰箱，大家小心。
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
哎，又用视角。啊，迷蒙哟。
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
因为 Walter 是有点算半目睹了芭芭拉的那个嘛死。
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
哦天哪，我最喜欢的
I
一段
think
好
it's
像
that none of us has gotten very far.
Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
Oh.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today.
这种罐头看起来好古老。
I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
有。
But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
真循环呢。
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
都吃这个桃子罐头还是什么？
And then one day, everything just
多超球。
stopped.
那火车啊，他在火车上。
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting.
没有晃了。
Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
他的手也是哎，他的手也有那个红斑点。
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
啊？过去。哟。 这个大家全体密室，而他用了非常多的书去当背景，你看哪边都有书。
I know it's out there somewhere.
有东西。
Whatever killed Barbara.
杀死芭芭拉。
And Molly. And Calvin.
哎呦，又要拿武器了。
Maybe this is all a mistake.
好消息有武器，坏消息有武器。
But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
哦，他是要敲出去。
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
啊，跑出来了！哎，这个 那他是
I'm going to appreciate all
矿坑里面工作那种
especially
感
the
觉
food.
吗？所以
I don't mind
所以
if I
他
only have a
是
year
就是每天12点的时候会有火车经过，然后就
month
晃了。
or a single week.
兄弟，你要不要走旁边一点？走旁边一点。
I'd be happy with one new day.
完啦，不能不给你走旁边啊！
I can already imagine the
我
sun
感觉我已经
on my
预料到了。Oh my god！ 被火车撞
Walter
死了，
died
这
when
个
I
蛮
was
明显的。
6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
他逃出来了，但是他被撞死了。而且的这个算小灵堂吧，还摆着他的这个罐头跟开罐器。原来应该是个厨师。
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
哇，我变在他的空间里面了。嘟嘟，没有嘟嘟，这个嘟嘟不用。
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
但他这个会让你觉得毛毛的点，是因为他是用故事，就是故事完之后，你还要再经历一次那个故事人物走过的路。
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two,
就是在说那个 Molly 啊，因为 Molly 是失踪嘛，但不确定。但目前就是默认只剩下这个Edith。
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem.
你也要走到这个
Maybe
铁
we
轨上哦，
believed
你要确
so
定
much in a family curse. We made it real.
Oh. 哇，断轨啊！
I don't know if I should even be writing this.
椅子为什么挂在这里？啊，因为有那个龙卷风嘛，什么风暴？
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
"而且我刚刚真的有一瞬间以为他是要走上海上那个平台，那个。
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
不是、啊、那个平，我想说有没有可能有一个家人是被淹死的，然后我要站在那个平台才会触发剧情？也不是这边。这他们家这样子盖也是蛮危险。
When you look at the house, had that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness.
他们家很像是来就是比如说一代，然后就盖一小栋，一代就盖一小栋。
Any of it seems possible.
你走左边还是右边呢？暗迷猫，这种锁的意义在哪？小狗吧。
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
他们家族，所以他们其实真的早就知道自己可能就会发生什么意外。你看他说，什么样的家族会在先建好房子之前就建好了墓地？听起来就很诡异。哇哦！
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but
天哪，很想说一句不是很。
The pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
宠物。
3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
哦，所以这是宠物 Lucy。哦 ，Shadow。他们的宠物名字也是非常多变。
Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery.
Molly Finch。Molly 就是我们第一个看的那个故事的那个人。然后 Kelvin。这个故事我是没有看太到啊，这个。
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
哇，他们真的是一家都在这里。
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, So my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
There's
so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
那这个视角什么的都会让你非常的，就是沉浸在这个故事里面。